Okay, so Nick Foles is back. What a weird game. Yet another blown lead by Atlanta. Another comeback from the Bears, even though it was a different quarterback who did it this time. Just a wild game. And let's just get into the ending of it. I want to talk about Nick Foles. I'm also going to break down one defensive play, but it'll mostly be about Nick Foles in the fourth quarter. It really all started with this play. It's 4th down and 6. It's going to be a cover 2 zone, but it's almost like a Tampa 2 with an extra man dropping back into coverage. So there's actually going to be 8 people in coverage as opposed to your typical 7. So you would think that the gaps in coverages are going to be a lot smaller. That's typically how it would work. And again, keep in mind, this is 4th down right here. So they really need if Chicago doesn't get this conversion, it's probably over. But what you're going to see happen here is that once this ball is, you have a receiver trying to get into a gap in coverage, there could be a small window, but after this ball is snapped, look at how huge this window is. And I don't know what that Atlanta safety is doing staying so far deep. He needs to not be that far deep. He needs to be a lot closer because there's just a wide open area. And it just makes no sense for Atlanta. Kind of a questionable thing. But you know what? Good job by Chicago for taking advantage. They're able to make the completion and get this big completion. So, I don't want to sit here and just completely bash Atlanta because I don't want to take anything away from Chicago. But at the same time, Atlanta clearly screwed up here. But again, for the Chicago, good job making them pay for that mistake. Later on, this play would happen. This is now on a 3rd down. So again, crucial play. It's going to be zone coverage, and you're going to have Jimmy Graham basically on an island with a defensive back right here. And so Graham, he's going to do what he typically does. He's going to use his physicality to his advantage. This makes sense right here. He's clearly a bigger guy. And watch what he's going to do, where he's going to try to create some contact immediately, basically, and then just kind of run over and almost box out like it's basketball. And typically, as long as you don't actually push off, they're not going to call that. Even though there is contact, as long as you just don't extend your arms, you're going to be fine. Graham never extended his arm, which is why they didn't call it, especially in the end zone. They just almost never call those unless you extend your arm. But for Chicago, they missed the 2-point conversion, keeping it 26-16, which was huge, especially because they went for it on 4th down at the 17 earlier, which was, in my opinion, a mistake. So now you're still down 2 scores. But that's when this play would happen. This was probably the biggest play of the game. It all started with the first one I showed you, but this was probably the biggest one. What's going to happen is that there's a couple of receivers running curl routes that are just going to get past the 1st down marker. This is a 2nd down and 6, so you don't have to get the 1st down on this play, but they would like to, and they want to just get some chunk plays, keep the ball moving. After all, you are down 2 scores. But what's going to be very interesting here is that watch how once Foles is ready to make this throw, you notice the 2 Chicago players start to cut. And part of me also wonders if maybe there was a cross-up because it's kind of weird that the 2 players are running the same route right next to each other. But as they do this, look at how far off those 2 Atlanta defensive backs are. They are both playing very cautious right here. And basically anything that's 10 yards down the field or shorter, they're giving up right here. It's a very, very cautious decision right here to have your defensive backs play off. They probably just feel like they don't want to get burned deep, which I do understand the logic behind. But then you're going to see this, where not only does Robinson make the easy catch, but he actually breaks not 1, but 2 tackles and runs into the end zone for a touchdown. And that can't happen if you're Atlanta. If you're going to play off, you have to at least make the tackle. But again, give credit to Allen Robinson and give credit to Chicago for being able to make that play. So it became a 3-point game later on. Chicago would get the ball into field goal range, so this is already looking good. But similar to when they were against Detroit, they want to see if they can find a way to just get off the field right here, or get into the end zone. And just try to win it in regulation. Don't even have to worry about overtime. Atlanta, they were cautious earlier. They're not being cautious here. They're dialing up a blitz. They're going cover 0. They're going to make Foles throw this ball very quickly. And, to me, this call for Atlanta makes sense. Foles is the kind of guy who does have a history a little bit of not being the best one under pressure. So give him some pressure right here. Chicago does have a receiver running over the middle. This is a route that Foles does like against this type of coverage. But again, he's going to have someone in his face. And as you see, pressure does get here very quickly, but Foles is still able to make a great throw, and they get the touchdown and take the lead. Really crazy how all this transpired. But you know what? There is still time left. Chicago scored on the first play after the 2-minute warning, and Atlanta still has 2 timeouts left. So they need a touchdown to take the lead, but they can absolutely do this. And you would see that Matt Ryan, he looked great at the beginning of this drive. I mean, he was just getting first down, first down, first down. And then this play would happen where it's 1 minute and 14 seconds left. It's 2nd down and 4. There is a rolling clock, so they kind of had to hurry to get this play together. Chicago, they're just playing cover 3 zone. Atlanta has a receiver running it that will get into a gap in this coverage. So this is a good situation for Atlanta, actually. It's going to actually be even better after the ball is snapped. I mean, you notice once this play starts that, that Atlanta player, he's open. It's not a wide open situation, but he's pretty open. And this is a throw that I feel like Matt Ryan makes, 9 out of 10 times, maybe 99 out of 100 times. I mean, this is not a throw that Ryan misses very often. However, this was a throw that Matt Ryan missed today. He overthrows it, gets intercepted, and that wasn't officially the ball game, but that was the ball game. I mean, it was going to be almost impossible for Atlanta to come back after that point. Just a great comeback from Chicago, really. And I mean, Atlanta, this is now another improbable blown lead. It's crazy how they seemingly can't stop losing in heartbreaking fashion. My heart goes out to Falcons fans, no doubt about it. But for Chicago, this was a very interesting game, and perhaps you have a new quarterback going forward. I thought Foles looked okay. I didn't think he was fantastic, but he definitely made some throws that I feel like Trubisky would not have made. The overall stat line isn't anything spectacular. I mean, 16 for 29, 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. The 3 touchdowns is nice. But at the end of the day, I think that, he's someone who was solid, and he definitely came through when he had to with some really nice throws. Personally, when I was watching this game, I thought it was over when Chicago decided to go for it on that 4th down and goal at the 17-yard line instead of just kicking a field goal. To me, that's an obvious decision. You kick the field goal because you're down 16. The chances of you getting 2 two-point conversions are about 25% if everything's equal. So on a long shot to get a touchdown, there was 11 minutes left. I know it's kind of revisionist history, but I felt that way at the time, that they should have kicked the field goal, but they still found a way to win. That's really impressive, I think, that even when you have that opportunity, you blow it, you still come back, get more opportunities, find a way to come back and win it. And don't look now, but the Chicago Bears are 3-0. I mean, who would have predicted that after 3 games, the Bears would be 3-0 and the Vikings would be 0-3? Kind of crazy. And, hey, at least as of the time I'm recording this video, they're technically ahead of the Packers, so they have that going for them. Just crazy, wild start to this this season, and I don't know. Maybe is it time to start buying in for Chicago? I mean, they play Indianapolis next week. That's a better team, and then they play Tampa Bay the week after on Thursday Night Football. So who knows? I mean, they could easily end up being a 4-0 team heading into the Thursday night game. I could easily see that happening. They're looking pretty good. So what do you guys think of this comeback of Nick Foles and how good the Bears are in general? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.